Absolute Duelist here, coming at you with a new match video, and in today's match video we are going to be doing a match between P.U.N.K Therion and Kashtira. Now, it looks like I won the dice roll going first with Kashtira, and my opponent is on P.U.N.K Therion. So, I'm going to start off the turn by activating Prosperity, banishing 6 cards to go ahead and activate the top 6 cards of my deck, and let's see what we are going to take. So, we've got the Enchantress, we've got the Adventure Package, we've got Unicorn for our starter, we've got a lot of options in our hand to potentially take here. So, let's see what we're going to be taking. We take a Rite of Aramesia, so we can go ahead and access our Adventure Package, and we go ahead and special summon Fenrir, and we're going to go ahead and use the Rite of Aramesia, making the token, and putting the Fateful Adventure on the board. So we go ahead and do that, and what we're going to do from here, shuffling up our deck, going ahead and looking at our hand, thinking of our plays, most likely going to use the Adventure here, so the Fateful Adventure, to go ahead and search a Griffin Rider, just so we can't be Nibiru'd. So we go ahead and grab the Griffin Rider, and then we add it to our hand. So we go ahead and add it to our hand, special summon the Griffin Rider. Our opponent activates Moonlit Chill to go ahead and negate the Griffin Rider. So what we're going to do from here, we're going to go ahead and use Fenrir, searching from our deck. Oh no, we're going to use the Faithful Adventure instead to go ahead and get the equip spell, and we use the Fenrir now to go ahead and search our deck for a Kashtira Unicorn. So it's an interesting choice to get Unicorn, but we set one and pass after that. So we're ending on a Griffin Rider set and also a Fenrir against P.U.N.K Therion. Let's see if that's enough, because of obviously we could have been Nibiru'd, so we're most likely playing around it. So let's go ahead and see what is going to happen. So he's looking at his hand, he goes ahead and activates this Colosseum to go ahead and search a Therion monster. Adding to his hand, probably a Lily, I'd assume. No, he adds a King. Okay, so he wants to go ahead and get the Omni Negate. And he goes ahead and summons the Fusion P.U.N.K, which allows you to pay 600 life points and Fusion Summon. But he's going to go ahead and attack the Fenrir and use the Field Spell to protect his own monster from being destroyed. Just reading it to make sure that that's what it does. You know, don't want to make any mistakes here. Make sure everything is okay. And we're getting life points up as well, just to make sure that, you know, we have the life counter and life points don't get mixed up. So he goes ahead and takes the 12, and we'll see what happens. So, where is he going from this after? It looks like we're thinking if it's okay though. But it's okay, so he goes ahead and sends a Therion to the graveyard. He sends the Lily, which will give him the search with the King. Goes ahead and uses the King, special summons the Lily. But nope, on the summon of the King, well, the effect of the King resolution, we're going to go ahead and use Fenrir to go attempt to banish the Therion King. So let's see what we do here. Does he go ahead and negate it? I would assume so, because otherwise he just loses the King for no reason. It gets banished face down, so there's not really a point, and if he has another Therion in hand, he could go ahead and extend from there. So the King wasn't banished face down. No, he most likely negated it then, because he goes ahead and equips the Lily on the summon as well, so it goes ahead and negates it. So it looks like it's our turn now. We're going ahead and use the Faithful Avenger to add an illegal knight. That is very illegal, as we all know, because it's a double compulse. That also gives it to our opponent. We go ahead and use the Dracoback Rider engrave as well, but he's going to also chain the fusion effect to pay 600 life points now. Going ahead and fusion summoning on our turn. Interesting to see where this is going to go. We go ahead and imperm the fusion effect, and then he uses King to go ahead and stop that. No, he doesn't use the King. He allows it. Okay, but then we Lava Golem both of his monsters, return the Lava Golem to our hand, swap the 2 to attack mode, and most likely just go in for game here. We can special summon the Illegal Knight and just attack for game. So we attack with the Griffin, we attack with the Adventure, and yeah, he goes ahead and scoops. So that was game 1. Let's go on to game 2. Okay guys, so going into game 2, let's see what we can do here, because I'm pretty sure we're going to be going second against P.U.N.K Therion, so hopefully we can break whatever board he's able to make. So he is going first. He's going to go ahead and use the Yugioh, which will allow him to fusion summon into the P.U.N.K fusion monster. I can't remember all the P.U.N.K names, but this one allows you to basically rescue rabbit 2 P.U.N.K monsters out of the deck. So he summons Xiamen and Dino using the Xiamen to be able to go ahead and search a P.U.N.K Ogre. Okay, and he's going to go ahead and synchro those 2 into the Insect, the new one, the Insect Synchro, which allows you to send a plant or a insect monster to the graveyard, and also allows you to go ahead and use plant or insect monsters that aren't tuners as tuners. And he also uses the Deer Note to summon back the fusion. And he sends a Lily, which really does give him instant access to his Therion cards, which is good because he also makes the Therion Xyz monster, the new Sprite Therion Xyz monster, which will allow you to search any Sprite, Spriggan or Therion monster from the deck. So this gives him instant access into his Therion combo. So he goes ahead and gets the King now. So he literally, with a Synchro Summon and going into this new Xyz, instant Therion King really does show what the deck is capable of. So he goes ahead and puts the Lily on the King, uses the Lily's effect to go ahead and search his Disc Colosseum, and uses Disc Colosseum to search another Therion monster. He's going to go ahead and summon the Therion, that's the Reptile Therion. I can't remember exactly its name, but I do know it goes ahead and discards a card from the hand to go ahead and summon a Therion from the Spell and Trap card zone. So he goes ahead and does that, discards to summon the Lily, and then he makes the Zombie Vampire, milling a Lava Golem Nibiru and Tactical Talents from the top of my deck. Oh, that would have been so good if we could have drawn that. But we continue, and he summons a Lily that he milled off the Zombie Vampire. Just making sure he can summon non-darks as well, guys. I did have a question about that because it's been a while since I played against P.U.N.K Therion. So he goes ahead and makes the Utopic Future package with the Sprite, well, the Spriggan, Xyz, and also the Zombie Vampire. And he finally summons the Water Therion to go ahead and have a Compulse as well. So he's ended on pretty much a Monster Negate that can steal, an Omni Negate, and also Compulse. And he has a Traptrix as well, getting any trap card in his deck. And he banishes D-Barrier? So he's going to turn off all of my Xyz monsters as well. That is very, very unfortunate because it means it takes away our ability to Xyz summon, but it's also kind of good because it means they can't use that Utopic Future Draco now. So he does lose an Omni Negate, but taking away the entire ability of my extra deck, that is gonna sting, guys. So we'll have to see if we can even get through this. And he does show the Ogre Dance because he added it, and I'm pretty sure I just asked if I knew anything in his hand or anything. Don't ask if that after the turn. I think he just showed it. I can't remember if I asked as well. So we go ahead and summon our Fenrir though. Seeing if we can go ahead and bait the Compulse or go ahead and bait the King effect. So we're going to go ahead and use the Fenrir as well. It looks like he's thinking if he wants to use the King. Just debating if he wants to negate the Fenrir, stopping me from searching a monster. Like, getting a monster in this deck could be really useful, so it depends on if he really values that a lot. So he lets it resolve, and we're going to go ahead and search a Scareclaw. Okay, very good monster. We can go ahead and banish any Kashtira from our hand or graveyard to special summon in defense mode. Pretty good. And where do we go from here? So, like, we're staring down a Compulse and an Omni Negate, so this is not easy. And I can't really see too well what's in my hand, so I can't really tell you where we go from here. But right now we're just reading the Water Therion, making sure when he can actually use it. Okay, so this is a board state that's hard. So we go ahead and use Change of Heart, attempting to steal the King, and he Omni Negates it. And then we use Paw of Prosperity, hopefully getting to a Lava Golem. So we banish Big Bang, Theosis, Imperm, Evenly. Evenly would have been sick, but sadly we don't have it. And Birth. So we don't see a Lava Golem, and we're going to take the Kashtira Birth. So interesting how we didn't get to a Lava Golem or a way to out this board, or even the Adventure package now that I'm looking at it. We didn't see a single part of the Adventure package. Like, that's actually unfortunate, other than the Illegal Knight I think was in there. And we go ahead and use the Kashtira Birth now. So give us the additional normal summon, well, not additional normal summon, but the ability to normal summon level 7 or higher, well, level 7 monsters in general, not higher. I'm a bit new to the deck, guys, please forgive me if I do misspeak sometimes. So we go ahead and normal summon the Unicorn, which will hopefully allow us to search a Kashtira Theosis, I would assume, if we can use it. But it looks like he's thinking now, thinking if it's worth to Compulse it. That's why he's picked it up and is looking at the War one. And he does go ahead and send the Lily to the graveyard, but he's supposed to add that to the hand. So don't know why he sent that to the grave. I believe it's supposed to go to the hand because the Water one goes ahead and returns them to the hand. So a bit of a misplay there, but we go ahead and use the Scareclaw, banish the Unicorn, then use the Birth to summon the Unicorn. And now we're going to go ahead and search another Birth. I mean, I guess if you can remove the Birth for next turn, that's pretty good, but I don't think that was correct. So, yeah. Okay. So it looks like we're going to go into the battle phase, and we do. We go ahead and attack the Water Therion to go ahead and remove one card from our opponent's extra deck. What are they going to remove, though? What are we going to get rid of? I did not see what we got rid of, so it'll be interesting to know later on. And he goes ahead and protects it with the Disc Colosseum, sending a Therion card to the graveyard to protect it, or an Ignition. Okay, and then we go ahead and trigger our Birth because we can control a Kashtira monster, and we can go ahead and banish 3 cards from our opponent's graveyard face down. So we banished those 3 face down because he did activate the Disc Colosseum. And now we're just seeing what we can do, I guess. We go ahead and attack again, use the Fenrir to banish the future Draco face down, because that card is absolutely insane. Being unkillable, being a monster negate, and being just take any monster that I negate. Very strong card, and would be very bad if we left him with it. And he does use the Disc Colosseum to go ahead and add back the Water Therion. So let's go ahead and see where this goes, though. Where's he going to go? What's he going to do? Like, what's the play here? So it looks like we're just talking about what we can do, what the plays are potential when the trigger effects happen. Making sure the opponent understands what is on my current board. And he goes ahead and summons the Water Therion, putting the Reptile one on the board. Okay. And he summons it in defense instead of attack mode. Understandable. Okay. But what's the play here? So, oh, we're going to go ahead and use Fenrir as chaining 1 and Unicorn as chaining 2. Oh no, that was a misplay. So Fenrir attempts to banish the king, but then the king tributes itself to negate the unicorn, so that was a misplay on my part. And he goes ahead and discards the ogre to add a Xiamen, and uses the Xiamen to go ahead and pay 6 to search the Foxy Tune. Okay, so we go ahead and he discards the Disc Colosseum with his Foxy Tune, special summons a Deer Note from the deck. Alright. And then he synchros into the Punk Synchro Monster and uses the Deer Note. Okay, so he searches any level 3, searches a Xiamen, summons the Xiamen from the graveyard, and then summons a Psychic End Punisher? Oh lord, that is a nearly impossible monster to out in this deck. That is actually really gonna be a problem, because we've got to somehow out that now. And he can just go ahead and attack anything, and it's gonna get huge. Like, one attack puts over like 6k, because one start of battle phase it's like 3500 attack. We're 2850 higher than his, so it's gonna get at least over 6k, and that's gonna be able to do a lot of damage. Alright, so let's see what happens, I guess. So he's reading the Scareclaw, just making sure it does nothing, I guess. And he goes ahead and attacks into it. And what's his play from here? Where's he going to go further? Like, he's got a Compulse and an unaffected monster by everything, while his life points are lower than mine. This is an issue. So he does just pass turn after that. We read the Psychic End Punisher, realizing how insanely good this card is and how hard it is to out. Okay. Put it back. Currently thinking, what's the play? How do we out this? How do we get around it? How are we going to win this? He's just doing some math, seeing how big it will be. I believe it ended up over like 9,000 or something from the game recollection. Like, I remember small bits about the actual match. I can't remember everything. So we go ahead and use Unicorn, which is going to add a Theosis. Yep, adds a Theosis now. Didn't add it last turn, so we add it now. Okay, so we got the Theosis in hand. And we're just currently looking at our hand, thinking, what's the best play here? How can we out this Psychic End Punisher? How do we get around these cards? What is the best way to out them? And he's counting his deck as well. I'm assuming we're doing this just to make sure that we can't just banish his entire deck this turn with what's banished face down currently. And obviously he did also mix up the order of his deck, guys, so if you do count your deck, just make sure you don't do this in future, because you can get into a lot of trouble for that. But we're going to go ahead and use the Fenrir. Fenrir is going to go ahead and add the Rise Heart to our hand, which will go ahead and be a free special summon at some point and banish the top 3 cards of our opponent's deck. Face down. So yeah, we're just currently trying to play around this. Like, we got to think of how to get around it, think of how to beat it. So we're looking at our extra deck, currently just thinking, what is the best method to get around all of this? So we go ahead and use Pot of Prosperity here. Banishing 3, I would assume. Like, after you banish 6, you don't want to really banish more than 3. Like, you want to keep your extra deck somewhat so you have resources. And we banished, we revealed 2 evenly matched and an Imperm, and we take the Imperm. Hopefully, probably wanting to get to a Lava Golem in there so we can go ahead and tribute the Psychic End Punisher and the Water Therion. Sadly, did not come to fruition. And now we're just seeing what we're going to do, I guess. So we go into the battle phase, I'm guessing, because we need to get our life points below that and Punisher to be able to deal with it. So we do kill our Unicorn, we go into battle phase, attack takes 6,700, big oof. And we go ahead and attack the Water Therion and then trigger the Fenrir to banish it face down. Sadly didn't use it before that, so he wouldn't have lost it. And we go ahead and special summon back our Fenrir, normal summon the Unicorn using the Birth, use the Birth to summon back the Scareclaw, And continuing on from there. So let's see. We go ahead and summon a Big Eye. We steal the Psychic End Punisher. Oh, that is so good. That is insane. Because that means now, because our life points are lower, our Psychic End Punisher is negated, or unaffected by all of his effects. He cannot use them. So we're going to go ahead and use Theo's system right now. We're going to just start building up our board. Special summon Unicorn. You know, just so we can have that on the board. And we're now just starting to make a board, guys. So we're debating if we want to XC summon. We do want to XC summon. What are we going to make, though? We go ahead and make a Shangri-La. Then we go ahead and special summon Rise Heart from the looks of it. That's what we're doing. So we special summon the Rise Heart. And then Rise Heart's going to banish one from our deck. Probably the Big Bang, just so we can go ahead and special summon one of the ones under the Shangri-La. And we use the Big Bang. He banishes the top 3 of his deck. And we use Shangri-La to take a zone. Just to let you know, guys, do not use markers if you're in a big event. You can get in trouble for that. But at locals, just have fun with it. But you can't actually use markers to mark out what zone Shangri-La is locked. Unless you're at, well, in locals, not really anywhere. But hey, if you're just having fun, just do it to make things easier. So right now, we've ended on a pretty strong board. We've ended on the Arise Heart because we go ahead and use the Shangri-La's effect. We go ahead and have this set Imperm. We have the Psychic End Punisher. We have Fenrir. That's just a banish anything face down. And we're going to go ahead and use the Shangri-La now, special summoning one from the deck. We summoned a Fenrir. I'm assuming we ran out of unicorns then. I must have just not realized and messed up. Like, I have a unicorn under the Shangri-La, but hey, still new to the deck, probably forgot. He's going to go ahead and use the Reptile Therion, though, to go ahead and put the King on. We're going to go ahead and use Fenrir to banish face down, and then use the King effect to go ahead and negate that. But he's got the Reptile Therion. He's currently just thinking, what does he want to do here? How does he out this board? How does he get around things? Like, he's got to out his own Psychic End Punisher. And, oh, it looks like that is the end, guys. Like, sadly, I do remember how this ended. It ended in a draw. But sometimes that happens. But I do hope you enjoyed it, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. This video is almost over. And yeah, sometimes things end in a draw. But this was a fun match nonetheless. Later all.